You are listening to the Legends Lingo podcast, brought to you by CouchGuySports.com. With your host, Al.
Buddy, you were targeted 6 times, you caught 2 receptions, and did nothing else.
Powder.
Yes, sir.
And Fiesta.
He hasn't done jack. They've won one cup and they made a lot of playoff appearances. But he is a snake, oily snake. He's a crook.
Enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Legends Lingo podcast, episode 102, presented by Couch Guy Sports. Go check out everything on CouchGuySports.com. We have blogs, we have podcasts, we have our YouTube channel, which you'll find us on. We also have our Twitch channel, which is actually, as we're recording, so we're recording a little later in the week than usual. We're recording on Thursday night, January 7th. By the way, Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to a great 2021. We have our Couch Guy Sports hockey team on Twitch right now. Topher Hurley, Josh Martin, Chris Jones, they're doing their thing. Just had a comeback win, which was actually kind of cool to watch, not going to lie. Maybe nerdy of me, but you know what? I don't care. I'm your host, Al Nahigian, alongside the nerd, Tom Salem Facette, and Tom Powder Cadmus. Fellas, yo. What's up, fellas?
Nothing, actually feeling good. Somehow I got an email from GameStop saying they would have a very short amount of PS4s online. Somehow they sold out in a minute, but I was one of the lucky people to get one. So
in other
PS5
words,
in a couple weeks.
So in other words, Powder's going to be streaming for us at some point in the future. So be on the lookout for
Hopefully.
that. Fee, what's up?
It's been a weird week.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's been weird. So we're recording later than usual. As obviously when this comes out, it's going to be after what happened on Wednesday with the attack at the Capitol building. Fee is very much into politics. He follows this very closely. So he just, we want him to sort of say something on Legends Lingo behalf, on everybody's behalf. So Fee, the floor is yours, sir.
I mean, it's self-explanatory what happened. Protesters that supported the president are not protesters. Let's call them what they are, terrorists, thugs, that went and attacked the Capitol as doing something that is part of the democratic and constitutional process of our country. It was a dark day. It was a dark day for our democracy as a country. We're gonna tell our kids about it years from now. Hopefully, we can learn from lessons and hold people accountable for their actions. It seems like it is happening. Politics aside, you have to be ashamed as an American that it comes to that. I know that our politics have been heated, and some for good cases. For a lot of issues, it needs to be. But since the election, there's been a lot of disinformation been thrown out by a lot of people, and it caused this. At the end of the day, truth will prevail. We must prevail, and democracy must prevail. If not, then we're no better than the evil in the world.
Very well said by Mr. Facette.
Very well said.
That's why one day he will be our president. He'll look back and be like, remember those 2 dudes that I did a podcast with? Unbelievable. Why did I waste my time?
You'll have, if I'm president, you'll be invited to the White House when you want to.
Heck yes. All right, Powder, we're in. We got the official in. Good. We got the inside scoop.
The Secret Service might roll their eyes at that Al guy. Jeez.
Listen. I'd roll my eyes
just keep
too if I saw
arguing
my
with
face.
them about sports all day.
I could just see the head of Secret Service like getting pissed at you, just like, yeah, you're banned from the building.
And I'll be like, for what? I only tried to break in for the 3rd time this week. It's better than usual, But enough about that. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Patriots off season because their season ended on Sunday. We're going to get into that. The Celtics are off to a hot start. Peyton Pritchard might be the best guy to wear number 11 in Celtics history. We got a little Bruins and some stuff going on. But before all that, we have the roll call, and we have a lot on the roll call this week. So the first thing we're going to start on is baseball. There are a few transactions that happened and a transaction that didn't happen. One that didn't happen is Japanese star pitcher Tomoyuki Sugano has not signed a contract with an MLB team, and he will be returning to the Nippon Baseball League for 2021, and then hopefully will be a free agent again for MLB teams in 2022. The New York Mets are making big moves thanks to Uncle Stevie Cohen, as the Mets have acquired four-time All-Star shortstop Francisco Lindor and right-handed starting pitcher Carlos Carrasco from the Cleveland Indians in exchange for shortstop Andres Jimenez, right-handed pitcher Josh Wolf, who's the Mets' number 9 prospect in the pipeline, outfielder Isaiah Green, who's number 10 Mets prospect, and infielder Ahmad Rosario. A little bit of football to talk about. Alabama wide receiver Devonta Smith is your 2021 Heisman Trophy winner. He becomes the first wide receiver to win the award since Desmond Howard of Michigan in 1991. The Houston Texans have themselves a new GM, and it is a face that a lot of Patriots fans will recognize. And it is Nick Caserio. Nick Caserio will be the new GM of the Houston Texans, and he has signed a 6-year contract to make him one of the 3 highest paid GMs in the NFL, according to Adam Schefter. And finally, or I shouldn't say finally, one little hockey note and then back to football. Zdeno Chara, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more later on, but Zdeno Chara is no longer a Boston Bruin. He has signed a 1-year deal with the Washington Capitals worth approximately $795,000. And again, we're going to talk about that a little later. And finally, the NFL playoffs are officially set after Week 17. The Saturday matchups are as follows. The 7-seed Indianapolis Colts will travel to the 2-seed Buffalo Bills. And then in the NFC, I believe we have correct me if I am wrong, I believe that's the 6-seed Rams against the 3-seed Seahawks. Is that correct?
Yep.
And then the 5-seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers will travel to Washington to face the 4-seed Washington football team. That just sounds disgusting to say in itself. And then on Sunday, we have the 5-seed Baltimore Ravens taking on the 4-seed Tennessee Titans, the 7-seed Chicago Bears taking on the 2-seed New Orleans Saints, and the Cleveland Browns, for the first time since 2003, are back in the NFL playoffs as the 6-seed Cleveland Browns travel to Pittsburgh to take on their in-division rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that will conclude the roll call. There was a lot, but a lot's happened, so we got to report it if we can. I'm going to leave this for the committee, a.k.a. all of us. What do we want to talk about first? Bruins, Celtics, Patriots. We got a lot we got to digest. So where do we want to start first?
I mean, we should just start with the easy stuff and then get into the heavy stuff.
Ooh, that could go a bunch of different directions, though. So which one are we talking?
Well, that is true, too, damn.
I got you.
I mean, damn, you trumped me there. I mean, do we want to talk Pats? Do you want to talk Bruins? I think we have some opinions about Chara.
You know what? Let's start with the Bruins because we'll change it up a little bit. We haven't talked Bruins in a while, so let's talk some Bruins. So Zdeno Chara, 14-year Boston Bruin, captain for quite some time. Fee, you might know this. How long was he a captain for?
14 years.
He was so right when he came in, he was a captain. Okay. So 14-year captain, 14-year veteran on the Boston Bruins. Obviously, he played with the Islanders and Senators before, but Zdeno Chara is no longer a Boston Bruin. He, like I said in the roll call, he has signed with the Washington Capitals. It's a 1-year deal, pretty much like a league minimum. It's like $795,000, not that much. To the casual hockey fan, and I've said this thousands of times on this podcast. I am a casual hockey fan. Powder, I think you can attest to this too.
Yep,
You're a casual
definitely.
hockey fan as well. So I think Powder and I are going to agree on this, and Powder, feel free to jump in if I say something that you don't believe in. Losing Zdeno Chara is tough, but it's not for the reasons that you might think. Obviously, yes, the leadership, the veteran presence, all that you're going to miss. But when you think about it too, you lost Torrey Krug in free agency. And now you're losing Zdeno Chara. So you're down 2 defensemen. And you didn't really add any pieces to that. So to me, it's like you could have brought Chara back for cheap for one more year. Granted, he's gotten slower and everything, and I know he's on your power play and everything. I get that. But it's like maybe it's for the best, and maybe you say to Charlie McAvoy, okay, you're going to be like our top defenseman now. You got to step up. But I don't know. It's just a weird feeling, and I think it was the perfect ending to 2020 in the sense that, like, we lost Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Gordon Hayward, Torrey Krug. We lost a ton.
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts, obviously. Yep, Mookie Betts, another one. So, like, that was just the perfect ending, and obviously in an imperfect way. So that's the casual fan perspective. Fee, unless Powder, do you have anything you want to add?
I was just gonna say what you said. They lost two defensemen, didn't really replace them, but losing kind of Chara, yeah, it stinks. But also, you knew you were probably only gonna have him for another year, so you're gonna have to move on from him anyway. So yeah, it's a year probably earlier than most people expected, but you know what? Hopefully, Bruins can build young and compete with this young core. That's why they got rid of Chara. So hopefully, it works out.
All right, Mr. Bruin, go ahead, Fee. I've been waiting to hear this opinion.
So I'll go a little bit to like what you were saying. Al, it is disappointing, but for the wrong reasons. And I think that Chara is a Boston icon. His number is going to be put up in the rafters pretty soon. The next 5 years. I'll be at that game. I'm guaranteeing it right now. I'll be at that game. That being said, still, I think Bruins fans would annoyed me a little bit. It's like, were you really mad that they let go of Chara, or they didn't like get EL or somebody else, a big defenseman or score? Was it more of that than this? Because this was coming, because Chara was still producing in the regular season, but when the playoffs had come around the last 3 years, he had worn down. It wasn't the same player. He would wear down and he would just be slow. In the bubble, you can't. Are we really forgetting already what happened in the bubble? He was slow. They did not give him minutes. They took minutes away. I mean, the thing is leadership that I'm concerned about, on the defensive end. I mean, leadership overall. I mean, we're going to talk about it in a couple of minutes, who the new captain is. But I'm not concerned about leadership. But this just giving McAvoy the Ferrari, which it needed to happen. He's a good defenseman. He's a top 4 defenseman. But if he wants to be a Norris Trophy contender, top 3 year in and year out, it has to start now, because he was a top 10 in the voting. This is that moment where, is McAvoy a good number 1 defenseman, or is he an elite number 1 defenseman? I think we're going to see again that he's going to be elite, but he just needs to prove it to some Bruins fans on that. But also, Bruins fans, cut it out. Cut it out. Like, this isn't like you're comparing this to like Tom Brady. It's nothing like that.
No.
Tom, like the Bruins needed to go young in defense because there's guys they have to evaluate. And if it doesn't work out, and I said in the article last week, if it doesn't work out, they're going to get somebody. Sweeney has made in-season trades. Every season he's been a general manager. They will make a move on the blue line if they see they need to make a move. And if they don't, if they want to ride it out, the summer they're going to have the second most cap space in hockey. They're gonna figure it out. If this is a bridge year to figure things out and then kind of retool everything to go out another run, then that's fine. That's fine. I find it annoying where Bruins fans were like up in arms and like saying Don Sweeney's on the hot seat. Don Sweeney signed David Pastrnak, the NHL's most prolific goal scorer. Last year, he won the award, to $6 million, a $6 million annual average of his contract. He's worth $12 million to any team in the NHL. An NHL team might throw $13 million at David Pastrnak. It just pisses me off. The Bruins fans just overreact sometimes, but that's a here and there.
Yeah, that is another different story. I'll tell you what won't piss you off though, Fee, is the next Bruins captain. Because when one door closes, another one opens. Zdeno Chara is out the door. Obviously no longer captain because he's no longer part of the team. But Patrice Bergeron has officially been named Bruins captain.
What? I thought it was Marchand.
And it was Brad Marchand too. No, the Bruins did a whole thing where they said Brad Marchand was the captain. They had a jersey for him and everything.
It was a joke.
Right. It was a joke for anybody that watched the video. But Patrice Bergeron is named your captain. And I just got one thing to say and one thing to say only. Actually, 2 things. 1, it's about damn time. And 2, it's well-deserved. That's it.
Yeah, I mean.
That's all.
Yeah, he's probably the most well-deserved captain, probably Boston sports history. One of the most.
Absolutely. No doubt.
I mean, somebody said this, like, in terms of hockey, this is like Yzerman going to Lindstrom for the Red Wings, where, like, right. 2 legendary players and one's very deserving. It's like the same thing. Chara's a future Hall of Famer. Bergeron's a future Hall of Famer. Hopefully, the one thing I hope is that the one thing that I want to see, hopefully in the next few years, is they win a cup, and I want to see Bergeron be the first one to get the cup. I want
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, but I'll say this: he's very handsome. Very,
He
probably the most.
is a good-looking son of a gun. He
Yeah,
is, and I have
think
no
he might be
problem
our most
saying that.
handsome captain in Bruins history.
He-
No offense to Mill Schmidt, old school dude, but I mean, yeah, I'm happy with it. If Bruin fans don't want to poo-poo on it, which I don't think is any, he's the most deserving captain.
Very true. Powder, any thoughts on Patrice Bergeron being named captain officially?
No, just like you, you're a casual hockey fan, and growing up watching the Bees, Bergeron was always one of my favorite guys. And like both you said, it's just about time finally. Like he deserves it. Yeah, Char definitely deserved it while he was here, but everybody knew Bergeron, if he ever got the chance, was going to get it the moment he could.
Very true. Fee, I have a quick Bruins trivia question for you before we move on. I got to see your hands up, though, so that way I know you're not cheating. I got to see those hands up. Okay. So obviously we know Chara was captain for 14 years. Joe Thornton was the captain before. Ray Bourque was also a captain, but there was one season where neither Bourque nor Thornton was the captain. It was 2000, 2001. Can you name that captain? His initials are JA. I'll give you that.
I don't remember. I'm drawing a blank.
Do you want me to give you the answer?
Yeah, just give me the answer.
Jason Allison. Remember that name? Remember that name?
I see. That's why I forget. Like I don't think they even mentioned it in the video montage that they did.
I know. He was only captain for 1 year, so I mean it makes sense.
Yeah.
So all right. And if you are a Bruins fan, you listen to this podcast, thank you very much. Bruins open up next week as we're recording, January 14th.
I do have a training camp update, quick one.
Against the New Jersey Devils. Go ahead.
Yeah, against the Devils. Looks like Marchand is going to be ready to start for the opener, which is big.
Good.
It looks like David Pasternak's already skating and is ahead of schedule.
Very
good.
Very
important. So
Two
he
big
might be
signs.
back, he might be back in January, which is key to any Bruins playoff hopes or Stanley Cup hopes, whatever they have.
All right. We are going to move on. We're going to move into some Patriots talk. Real quick about the regular season. It's over. Patriots finished 7-9. They finished with a Week 17 win over the New York Jets, 28-14. But we're not going to talk about that anymore. We're on to the offseason. We're on to 2021. We are going to do our NFL playoff predictions like we did last year, but that's going to be a little later on. Right now, Patriots offseason. Guys, there's a couple quarterbacks out there that I am literally licking my chops at that I want badly in a Patriots uniform. Jimmy Garoppolo being one of them. 49ers have said that they will move on from Jimmy Garoppolo if the option is there. Today it came out, I believe it was Pro Football Talk and Ian Rappaport both reported Deshaun Watson supposedly might ask for a trade out of Houston. Especially
I got a further update if you haven't seen it.
Go.
He hasn't been answering the phone calls. Texans have been calling him for days.
So the Texans have been trying to call him, get a hold of him. Guys, to me, that's
because the reason why is that Kyle McNair informed him that he would be involved in like GM and coaching head hiring process and provide feedback, and then was not involved when they hired Nick Caserio. So, yeah, I think continue, but that's just like oof.
He's disgruntled, and let me tell you something. There's a football team that needs a quarterback, and that is our New England Patriots, because it looks like Cam Newton's going to be out the door for the most part. There still is a possibility he could come back. I don't know if he will be back. Maybe like Fiesta has said on social media, and I'll give him credit for this, he wants to be closer to his family. I don't blame him, especially where he's at in his career.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing is this. Deshaun Watson has a chance to get out of Houston, get out of a bad situation. Now, Nick Caserio, could he make things better? Maybe. We don't know yet. He just got hired like 2 days ago, a day ago, whatever it was. So we haven't seen him do anything yet. But let me tell you something. Deshaun Watson's very, very aggravated. He's not answering calls. He wants out. If the Patriots, and I don't want to say this is a pipe dream because I think if the Patriots wanted to make it happen, they could make it happen. But what is the realistic chance that Belichick will get on the horn and see whatever it takes to get Deshaun Watson here? And I'm just curious about your guys' thoughts on this because I honestly don't know. So I might need some convincing either way. So let me start with Fee, then I'm going to go to Powder. Fee, you first.
So he has a no trade clause. I think that it needs to be declared in this situation. Deshaun Watson has a lot of power in this situation. If he does want to communicate, he's probably going to send a list. I think this is going to. So, and I think you're going to be on the list because team with salary cap, stable ownership, coaching, front office. You hit the check marks on that. You'll probably be in the top 5 of the list, but I don't think you're going to have the best package, especially if the Jets say, "Oh, you know what? We have the second pick. Yeah, you want Sam Darnold in the second pick? You're the Houston Texans. Okay, we got a young quarterback and the second pick to build around. Okay, say the Dolphins want to get rid of Tua. Give up the third pick.
And that's a realistic possibility because the Dolphins don't know right now if Tua is the answer long term.
Yeah, and they have cap space, great coach, and they can build around. Literally, I'll say this, if Deshaun Watson is available and goes to Miami, Miami's an instant Super Bowl contender.
Yes.
Overnight.
Definitely.
Yes.
The Jets probably they would still need it, but the Dolphins are on the cusp. Another team that could be thrown out there, the Saints. Drew Brees looks like he's going to retire.
Yeah.
The Steelers, the Vikings, 49ers.
The football team.
I actually think the football team might go after Cam.
They might, and I know you've said that, but that's another team that could be looking in the market for a quarterback this upcoming offseason.
So, I mean, you have that. Did I mention the Vikings?
I believe you did, yes.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so the 49ers, I mentioned. So you have all these teams that are interested. So you're going to be in the conversation. You're probably going to be on the list. You're going to have to give up a lot. And I asked somebody this question. Do you trust Bill to be able to acquire somebody like this or to build a draft, use those picks to build the team? That's the question I have for you guys. And for the audience.
Yes. I mean, for me, really quick, and then Powder, just because we want to obviously get your opinions too on this. For me, I mean, Deshaun Watson's one of the premier talents at the quarterback position. You got to go get him. That's my thing. Go get him right now. And then with the cap space that you have, go get him a weapon or two. By the way, if you get Deshaun Watson, bring in Will Fuller. They already have a connection. There's one weapon you can get. Go out and get a guy like a Corey Davis or an Allen Robinson or a Juju Smith-Schuster. And then go out and we talked about this on Couch Guy Sports Podcast the other day. Then go out and get another weapon in Hunter Henry at tight end. Then right there, you build up an offense and bring Deshaun Watson in at quarterback, and you're telling me that team can't go back to the playoffs and make a potential run, then you're crazy. But yes, I think you should do what you need to do to get Deshaun Watson if it's feasible. Powder, I want to kick it to you though, really quick, just because I want to get your perspective.
Yeah, I trust Belichick to go after this if he's determined to get a new quarterback that I know he can build around and have for a long time. I think Deshaun Watson is definitely that quarterback. That he's still young and he led the NFL in passing yards this year. You can tell has a lot of talent and he can move around in the pocket and be what Patriots fans want Cam Newton to be. We wanted a quarterback that was different from Brady. Brady just sat in the pocket. Deshaun Watson can move around in the pocket, can break out run if need be, but he also has, like I just said, he led the league in passing, so he obviously has a good arm. And like Al just said, add weapons around him. The Patriots, I think, if Belichick really wants to win now and not have to go through a rebuilding stage, I think this is the exact route to do is go get Deshaun Watson and then get a couple weapons around him. So I think it's something the Patriots will try and do.
So I have a proposal I'm going to throw out. So it's probably going to cost a lot. So would you be willing to give up 2 firsts, a second, potentially 2/3, and J.C. Jackson or Stephon Gilmore?
Gilmore, yes. Jackson, no. Because Gilmore, because Gilmore's coming on the last year of his deal. He's getting a little older. If you can pay J.C. Jackson and keep him as the number 1 corner. Now, granted, I know he hasn't looked good right now because Gilmore obviously didn't play the full season this year. And Jackson's had a few opportunities to show that he has number one corner ability, and he hasn't shown it yet. But in the case you're talking about, Fee, if you can get rid of Gilmore and you know you're getting Deshaun Watson back with the draft picks at this point, take them. Take the draft picks, Gilmore, but J.C. Jackson, no.
Well, I'll just say this. I would trade J.C. Jackson. I think you should sell high on him. And I mean,
That's true.
I think you should just sell high on him. And I understand, but Bill's been able to develop corners. One of the few positions where he can develop corners, has been able to sign corners. So I feel confident in that. If you want to trade J.C. Jackson, do it. Especially if that's going to be, if you're looking at the roster, they're going to probably ask about, we want J.C. Jackson. If that's going to be the only thing to stop you to get Deshaun Watson.
So you would be okay with it. I just want to make sure I understand this. This is just a quick yes or no answer. So you would be okay with trading away Jackson in that case, and then if Gilmore walks out the door after next year, then you're down your two corners. And I know what you're saying about building the corners. Bill can probably do that, but you're okay with that, and I just want to check. It's just a simple yeah.
I mean, because I think they're gonna have the cap flexibility next year also to sign guys, and they're probably gonna draft a corner in this draft anyway. So
Okay.
I trust. If there's a position that it's the trenches and it's the corner and it's the secondary, I trust Bill to figure out with and his staff to figure out with. But yeah, I mean, if J.C. Jackson, if they call, it's like, yeah, we'll take J.C. Jackson. I take the most important position on the field over a corner.
Right. Okay. So now let's move on for a second from Deshaun Watson. Let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo for a second. So if Jimmy Garoppolo came in, Fiesta, you threw out a hypothetical, so I'm going to throw out a hypothetical real quick for you guys too. The draft order right now, so the Patriots have the 15th overall pick in the NFL draft, one of the highest picks they've had, I think, since either 2007 or 2003. I forget which year it is, but it's been a long time since they've had a top 16 pick, a top half pick. So this is the current order of the NFL draft by team 1 through 15. Jacksonville's 1, the Jets are 2, Miami's 3 because of the Tunsil trade with Houston. So Miami got the right to that pick. So Miami's picking number 3. Atlanta 4, Cincinnati 5, Philly 6, Detroit 7, Carolina 8, Denver 9, Dallas 10, Giants 11, San Francisco 12, Chargers 13, Vikings 14, Patriots 15. So why am I reading off this draft order? Because if you sign Jimmy Garoppolo, is it out of the question for the Patriots to maybe take a chance at a quarterback in the first round to get a whole new QB room like we've been talking about for a few weeks? Now, with that in mind, keep one thing in mind. The Jaguars and the Jets are probably going to take Lawrence and Justin Fields, one in one of those two orders. You would think that they would take them.
Actually, it might not be Justin Fields.
Who would it be?
Wilson.
Yeah, and I was going to get to him next. Thank you, Fiesta. Miami picks 3rd. Like we just said, Miami not be convinced that Tua Tagovailoa is the guy. So maybe they draft another quarterback like a Justin Fields or a Zach Wilson. So then if that happens, you got 3 of the top quarterbacks automatically off the board within the first 3 picks. So then maybe you get lucky, but then keep in mind this. Atlanta's at 4. Maybe they move on from Matt Ryan this season. I don't know if they will, but after the season, they might hit the reset button too. And then you also have Detroit with Matt Stafford. So you don't know what's going to happen there. You have Denver who might say, forget Trevor Locke. He might be gone. So the point that I'm trying to make, and then Dallas at 10 if they lose Dak Prescott. But here's the point I'm trying to make. At that point, let's say you sign Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's say you get Jimmy Garoppolo via trade. However you get Jimmy Garoppolo ends up a Patriot. You have the 15th pick. Do you hope that a guy like Mac Jones or Trey Lance falls to you at 15 and then you get 2 quarterbacks in the room? Or do you go after Kyle Pitts out of Florida to upgrade your tight end position and then you say forget a guy like Hunter Henry in free agency? So again, I'm just throwing out hypotheticals out there and I just want to hear your guys' opinions on it. Powder, I'll start with you, then we'll go to Fee.
If you can draft a young quarterback and you don't think you're going to get a Deshaun Watson or something like that, you definitely have to draft a young quarterback.
Even with Garoppolo in the room.
Even with Garoppolo in the room, because I don't think Garoppolo's going to be – I think he's good, but I think you've seen in San Francisco, he's not a great passer. Like, he's a good passer, but not a great passer. So I think you have to develop someone under Garoppolo. I think Garoppolo would be good for that. But I don't think Garoppolo is going to be long-term like a Deshaun Watson would be. So I think definitely if you have Garoppolo,
Right.
he could be a 2-3 year guy who I think you can make the playoffs easily with him, because you saw the 49ers made the Super Bowl last year with him. But I don't think passing-wise he's going to be someone you want long term.
He would be a bridge quarterback. That's
Yes.
exactly what he'd be. I agree with. And that's essentially what you might be looking for if you're trying to develop a young quarterback, or unless you don't get a Deshaun Watson, like you just said.
Yeah.
Fee, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I actually kind of disagree. If you're gonna get a guy like Garoppolo, Deshaun Watson, Stafford, anybody else via trade, they're gonna be the quarterback for minimum of the next 3 years. They're not gonna get draft a quarterback.
You don't
They
think
would
you don't
build
think
around
to
Jimmy.
you don't think to build their future?
They
to
would.
try to-
They would. Bill's stubborn. This is part of Bill's thing. He's stubborn enough. He would build around, because Jimmy Garoppolo's 30. I mean, yes, you know his limitations, but if he plays within his limitations, he's a very good quarterback. That being said, if it came down to Jimmy Garoppolo or trying to get a draft a quarterback, I would prefer drafting a quarterback. I would say that. But if they went with Jimmy, I'll be like, I'm not gonna go, wee.
Nice Falcon
Super
impression.
Bowls.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go like Super Bowl back on. I'll say, all right, they're a 10 to 11 win team. They're gonna be a playoff team. Maybe make an AFC championship game, but that's their ceiling. And I'll be content with that. But that being said, I mean, Todd McShay actually had this and had Justin Fields falling to 15 to you in his first mock draft. He said it might change. I saw another one where Trey Lance was at 15. Mac Jones is going to be there. Kyle Trask is going to be there at 15.
I forgot about Kyle
It
Trask
depends
too.
how-
Right.
It depends if you want to go that route. But again, if you're going to trade for a quarterback, you're definitely going to not draft a quarterback. You're going to probably go either Kyle Pitts or Devontae Smith or Waddle
Yeah.
or
Jalen
any of
Waddle,
the
yeah.
other potential receivers. I'll say this. Somebody mentioned this there. 15. There's already rumors the Bill and Nick's relationship. There's 4 players that could be linked to you from Alabama. You have Surtain, the corner. You have the 2 receivers that we just mentioned, and Mac Jones. I'm telling you right now, Nick Saban's probably selling Bill on one of those 4 guys, and it's probably Mac Jones, and it's probably one of the receivers, because I think it's going to be Waddle. But if that's the case, then it's fine. But if you're going to get Garoppolo, fine. But if you're going to draft a quarterback, they'll probably bring in somebody. They'll probably either bring back Cam for a year, or they might bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick wouldn't be bad either. I wouldn't mind Fitzpatrick for a year or 2. That'd be
A
fine
little
with me.
Fitz magic.
I would love that. That'd be fine with me.
Because the thing is, I think that cultivately we're saying we want a plan. That would be a plan. Bringing back Cam, drafting the guy, bringing in Fitz, drafting a guy that's playing, or trading for a guy and saying like a Deshaun Watson or Jimmy Garoppolo. So, all right, this is the plan. We're going to stick to this. We're going to build. We're going to try to build a contender. But I mean, again, Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to woo me. I know the girls are going to love him because he's so handsome. But
we're just talking about handsome current and former Boston sports athletes. Hey, we're going in a different direction. I like it.
By the way, Al, it was 2008. The Patriots had the 10th overall pick and picked Jared Mayo.
Gerard Mayo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 2008. Okay. Thank you, Powder. That's why I paid the big bucks to do the research.
Yeah.
Okay. The Patriots offseason, it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of speculation. We're going to bring in some Patriots analysts, guests, writers to talk with us as it goes along. We already have a few lined up for the future, so be on the lookout for those episodes. Final big topic we're going to probably talk about tonight is the Celtics. But before we get into the Celtics, guys, it is a new year. But you know what isn't new? Our sponsorship with our friends. Yes, the Legends Lingo podcast is sponsored by our friends at Manscaped. Happy New Year's from our sponsors at Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, which offers, say it with me, precision-engineered tools for your family Jules, and is here to make sure that you're clean down there in the new year. Ring in the new year with the right tools for the job. Happy 2021 to everybody. By the way, little spoiler alert, if you're hairy down there, it's still gross. So step into the new year with the tree standing taller and shave. Manscaped is here to give you a New Year's resolution that you'll actually want to keep, because let's face it, with resolutions, I mean, I know I already broke mine. I don't know if you guys made any, but yeah. The Perfect Package 3.0 is the below the waist grooming package you need to start off strong this year. Come out of quarantine being clean thanks to the Lawnmower 3.0. This waterproof and skin safe trimmer will reduce nicks, and also the third generation trimmer. It has a light, guys. Has a light to shine, a light to the promised land. 2021 will hopefully look to be. It's also time to freshen up down there. We have the Crop Preserver, which is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting it on the smelliest part of your body? Let's be real here. Make sure you're always smelling good everywhere for your date, just in general. And for on-the-go freshness, you'll love the Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray. Start the new year with a fresh set thanks to Manscaped. Manscaped even threw in their shed travel bag to keep all the goodies stored comfortably. And by the way, speaking of comfort, Manscaped also has anti-chafing boxer briefs that are also included and will bring your underwear game to the next level. Let's bring sexy back in 2021. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code LLP at manscaped.com. You're downstairs. Well, thank you. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping with the code LLP at manscaped.com. Again, one final time, in case you missed it the first two times, 20% off, free shipping, manscaped.com. Use the promo code LLP. It's a new year, and make it a new downstairs for you. As always, shout out to our friends at Manscaped. They have been great with us. We have them through March, and they have been a great partner to us.
Yes, they have.
For a long time. So before we actually get into the Celtics, we're going to do something we did last year really quick. We are going to do our NFL playoff predictions. Last year we did it. It was a lot of fun. It was really close. But we're going to do it again this year. And basically it's just pick the winner outright. And we're just going to count up the most amount of points. Most amount of points after all 4 playoff rounds wins. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. We'll just go week by week. So this is what we'll start with. So I have the games right here. We'll start with Saturday's games. We'll start with the Saturday early afternoon game, which is the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills. I'm just going to go first just because there's a writer or two on the website that are Bills fans. I have a couple friends that are Bills fans. I'm in on the Bills, so I'm going with the Buffalo Bills to beat the Colts on Saturday.
Bills.
Powder with the Bills. Feet?
No, I'm going to be different here. I'm going to be different. Give me the Colts, even though I just have a weird feeling. They have a good defense. Something weird's going to happen on that day. It's going to be a good football game.
It is. I agree. I think it's going to be better than people think, but I think the Bills still take care of business.
I think it's going to be the best football game of the weekend. That's my opinion.
Okay.
I like that.
Rams and Seahawks. Fee, what's your pick?
I mean, Goff or no Goff, Seattle's winning this game.
Oh, yeah. Definitely Seahawks.
I'm going Seattle as well. Okay. Buccaneers, Washington football team. Powder?
Tom Brady, Bucks.
I'm also going with the Bucks. I know Washington's defense is good. I know they're playing well
but
right now.
But they want Brady. You know what happens when someone says they want Brady?
Well, not only that, but the Bucks offense is clicking right now. Last couple games. Granted, it's been against Detroit and Atlanta twice, but I think they're catching fire right at the right time. So I'm going with the Bucks in this one. And I think the Bucks can go to Green Bay and beat Green Bay, but that's just me.
I mean, Mike Evans is a game time decision. He is the key to the offense, kind of helps flow everything. I'm leaning Bucks, and I'm probably going to go Bucks, but it really wouldn't surprise me if the football team won this game. This feels like a fluky game, especially given Brady's history against elite front sevens and the NFC East teams. But I'm going to go Brady's going to save them at the end, but I don't trust Arians. So I'm going to go Bucks, but put an asterisk there. I hate Arians. I hate him because it doesn't feel like it's going to be close enough. Brady's going to get because they can't block for him. He's gonna get sacked, fumbled, and Arians is gonna do something stupid at the end.
It's Bruce Arians. It's just bound to happen.
Yeah, it's just like it just is.
All right,
The
we're
line's
gonna
-8. I definitely think the Redskins are going to cover that. It's
You
going
think
to be
the-
a lot closer than that.
the football team might cover.
Or yeah,
They-
football.
No,
team, right.
the football team's gonna cover. It's 8.5. They're covering. I said that on the Chasers. They're covering.
I think they're going to cover too, but I think the Bucks win like a 27-23 kind of game, something like
it's
that.
gonna be like 24-20. It's gonna be
Right,
that type.
exactly, right in that ballpark. All right, Sunday's games, early afternoon game. Baltimore Ravens are at the Tennessee Titans. Listen, guys, I like what the Titans are doing. Love Derrick Henry, 2,000 yards rushing this year, but the Baltimore Ravens are playing really well right now. I know, but you know what? Lamar Jackson's been playing a little bit better lately. They've since that Patriots loss, they've been playing a lot better. So you know what? Sometimes you got to go with the hot team. The Ravens are hot right now. I'm going with the Ravens.
Titans.
Okay.
King Derrick Henry
Yep.
is
Derrick
going to
Henry's-
make the Ravens his daddy again. And also Ryan Tannehill's the top 5 quarterback in the game right now. I don't know. This is a big game for Lamar. I'll say that. It's a big game for Lamar. This is he has to play well, but the Titans are playing with house money. So
They are. No, they are. All right. Mid-afternoon game. Bears and Saints. This shouldn't even be a contest. The Bears are limping their way into the playoffs. Thank goodness for the Cardinals
dat?
losing.
Who dat?
Yep. Who dat nation? So I'm going with the Saints.
the Powder go with the Saints.
Who
Yep,
dat?
Powder went with
Who
who dat.
dat?
Okay. Mitch.
No,
Mitch.
no
Mitch.
way. Are you kidding
I'm just
me?
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, Fee. I know you're trying to be bold, but that's like,
Hey,
come
no.
on.
I just wanted to, but they might cover. That defense might. It depends on Alvin Kamara's health,
Yeah,
especially
that's
with COVID.
true.
So
That's
definitely, if you want to, because he is the linchpin in that offense, I think they might cover. But I just want to say Mitch. But it's not gonna happen. I think he actually plays well on Sunday, but we'll see.
Okay,
But
final.
who dat?
Who dat? So we all have who dat. Final game of the NFL wildcard weekend. Sunday night game. The Cleveland Browns, for the first time since 2003, are going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Powder, what's your pick?
If there wasn't COVID going through the Browns, I think I'd pick them. I think they would win this game. I think that's going to affect them. But you know what? I'll still go with the Browns. I want to see them win this playoff game. I really do. And I think they can.
Fee?
See, this is a weird game because it's the coach staff that's been affected. There's still some guys, but I don't trust Pittsburgh. Do you?
No,
right now?
not at
Not
all.
the way they've been playing lately.
This is a weird game because if there was no COVID problem with Cleveland, we all be saying Cleveland right
Yeah.
now. And all three of us. That being said, I'm still going to pick Cleveland. If Chubb and Hunt are healthy and Bayfield just doing play action pass to Landry, it might be enough. I think the Steelers offense is broken. So I'm going to go. I might take Browns money line on Sunday.
Ooh, sprinkle it in. Listen,
Because it's +6. It's like, it's just
I know.
telling you.
I know it's trying to tease you, Fee. But this is what I was going to say. I didn't know if you guys were going to go with the Steelers. I mean, I'm going with Cleveland because you know what? Ben Roethlisberger, he's older. The Pittsburgh receivers led the NFL in drops this year. So you know what? I'm trusting that this Cleveland defense with Myles Garrett potentially getting at Ben Roethlisberger. I'm kind of liking Cleveland here. I love their running attack with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. You know what? The Browns, I think, will win this football game, even with everything that's going on with COVID and their coaching staff.
I just think
Put me down for the Browns.
they're playing with too much excitement. There's, like you said, first half since 03. I think they want to prove something that they're here.
And then they're probably going to go get their doors blown open in Kansas City. But we can talk about that next week.
That's fine.
We can talk about that next week.
Yeah.
All right, Powder, just give us a quick rundown. Then we'll finish off with the Celtics really quick. Just a rundown of the picks again.
Oh yeah. So give me a sec. So Al, you and me picked the Bills, where Fee picked the Colts. All three of us picked the Seahawks. Al and I picked the Bucks outright, where Fiesta asterisk on the Bucks thinks the football team can win this game.
Ravens,
All
Titans.
all three of us picked the Titans.
No, I took the Ravens.
Oh, no, my bad. Yeah, Fee and myself picked the Titans, where Al picked the Ravens. And then all three of us picked the Saints. And then all three of us picked the Browns.
All right. So good luck, gentlemen, this week. And we'll see what happens next week when we repick our divisional rounds. Final topic of the night, Celtics. People were so worried about the Celtics. And it's like, I think when we recorded last, the Celtics had just beaten the Pacers, and they were 2-2. By the way, you want to know what their record is now? It's 6-3. So that means they're 4-1 in their last 5. And the one game that they lost by 3 to the Pistons, which they probably could have and should have won. But anyways, when you take a look at their schedule, they have beaten Milwaukee, they have beaten Indiana, they have beaten, obviously the Pistons aren't great. They've beaten Toronto, they've beaten Miami, and they've beaten the Grizzlies. In there, you have 3 or 4 teams that people were comparing you to in the East. Miami, Toronto, Milwaukee. Those are quality wins. I am having so much fun watching this team. And honestly, the Miami game shouldn't have even been close last night. I don't know if you guys watched it. As we're recording on Thursday, January 7th, the Celtics played the Heat on January 6th. Peyton Pritchard with a putback at the buzzer, pretty much with 0.2 of a second left, to lift the Celtics to a 107-105 win over the Heat. This team is a lot of fun. And guys, Peyton Pritchard, this kid can play. This kid, you got him at 26 in the draft. You got him as a 4-year guy out of Oregon. This kid, the thing that I like about this kid, he doesn't try to do way too much. He plays within himself. When he's open, he takes his shots. When he's not open, he makes the right reads. And he is just a scrapper on defense. And that's what I like about this kid. And I know I joked at the beginning saying he's the best Celtic to wear number 11. I meant to say the best number 11 over the past 3 years. Let me clarify that really quick. But listen, I like this team. I like where they're heading at right now. I mean, on Friday night, they're playing the Wizards at home. Then they got a rematch with the Heat. Then they have the Bulls and they have the Magic for 2. And then they have the Knicks. And then a matchup with this, and then 2 matchups with the 76ers. So their schedule is somewhat favorable. And by the way, shout out to Jason Tatum and shout out to Jaylen Brown. Those two are lighting it up, and they're being leaders on this team, which is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see them take that leadership role, and they're doing it flawlessly. So I'm loving what the Celtics are doing right now. Again, love the Celtics. Love what Peyton Pritchard's bringing off the bench. I love what Robert Williams is bringing off the bench because I think he's utilizing his minutes. Semi Ojeley's showing flashes, especially offensively. So I'm a fan of what's going on right now. Can they make a move at the deadline? I think they can. I think they will, especially with that trade exception. But right now, like Fiesta said, enjoy the ride. It's a fun ride to be on right now. So I'm being positive about this team. I'm going to kick it to Fee and then go to Powder. Fee, tell me why you're going to talk me off my horse.
Oh no, they've faced some quality opponents. I mean, a lot of people thought they would slow start. It has, but the way that Tatum and Brown have played, I mean, people say that Jason Tatum's having a slow start. Just look at his stats. He's on pace to potentially have 50, 40, and 90, a 50, 40, 90 season. Right. That's pretty damn good. That's elite. His passing has been better. His defense has been better. Jaylen Brown's been every mid-range he takes in rhythm, it goes in. It just swish, swish, swish. That being said, I hate the two big lineup.
Yeah.
I think they should separate it a little bit. That's because they don't have enough wings. They maybe should play Semi a little bit more for now. Yeah, like you said, they're probably going to add somebody. Maybe they're just doing it to give less wear and tear, so they go smaller in the playoffs, because that actually would make sense, or the latter part of the season. So I understand why they're kind of do it, save some guys. Pritchard, legit role player. Maybe a hidden gem that Danny Ainge found. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, if he keeps playing like this until Kemba comes back, it'll be very beneficial. I mean, the 6-3, and I think they're gonna be able to go on a little run. I'm gonna hold the take on potentially they could get with the TPE, with the trade exception. I'm gonna hold back on that, and I'm gonna hold back for the reason why. For a couple weeks, I'm gonna wait. Give me until after that Lakers game at the end of the month. Mark it down.
Okay. Is that a little teaser?
Yeah.
Okay, so be on the lookout. Powder, any additional thoughts?
Nah, they just been playing, I think, really well. Even in some of their losses, they play well, keep games close, and like you guys said, Payne Pritchard looks good, and then the Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, look, just being leaders of the team, what we wanted coming into the season.
Well, I know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night. I'm going to be watching the Celtics take on the Wizards, who have Russell Westbrook, have Bradley Beal, but you know what? Should be a win. Will it be a win? I don't know, but we shall see. Final thoughts before we close out episode 102.
Just real quick, former Legends Lingo guest Jack Adams is tomorrow night playing his first game with Providence College, where he transferred from Union College. Providence College is where his late brother Rue won a national championship, and Jack will be wearing Rue's old number 4, playing for Providence.
That's a feel-good story. Love that. Like Powder said, former Legends Lingo guest Jack Adams. Go check out that episode if you haven't yet. Any final thoughts, Fee, before we sign off for the night?
No. Happy New Year, everybody, again.
Happy New Year.
Be on the lookout, though, for a potential new project from Fee.
Ooh.
Couch guy related or non-couch guy related?
Couch guy related.
Ooh, little teasy that we might find out after the recording. We'll see. But again, couchguysports.com. Go check out everything on the website. Couchguysportsshop.com. Go buy some merchandise. We have the store. There's a bunch of stuff. We have sweatpants, hoodies, sweatshirts, bucket hats, you name it, we have it. So go check that stuff out. Check out what all the writers are writing, including Powder, including Fiesta, including myself, and all the other writers. Our views are going up. Everything's going up with our website. We're looking really, really good. And again, Legends Lingo Podcast on iTunes, on Spotify, on SoundCloud. Go check us out. And we're on the Couch Guy Sports website, so you can find us. If nothing else, we got Tom Saban Facette. You know him as Fiesta. We got Tom Cadmus. You know him as Powder. I'm your host, Alan Nahigian, otherwise known as Al. And we will see you next week for episode 103. Manscaped, 20% off and free shipping, code LLP. See you next week.
Yes, sir.